I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Alter Ego Comics TV for the week of January 18th, 2012. And we're going to kick things off this week with answering a question that was posted in the YouTube comments below. And this is from Mr. Mike Bighead. Well, Mr. Bighead, how are you today? He writes, I just found you guys on YouTube. I was wondering, what are your thoughts on Venom and Uncanny X-Force by Rick Remender? They're awesome. Rick Remender is awesome. You know, Marvel has their architects, the five guys who make those hamburgers. No, the five guys that are steering the Marvel universe now, and I don't think Remender was included in that group, but he is really, one of the bright spots in the Marvel universe right now with Venom and Uncanny X-Force, as you mentioned. He's taking over Secret Avengers with the .1 issue that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. I think it's 22.1. And then stays on as regular writer with 22. He's got, just all this cool stuff happening. And if you haven't checked out his creator-owned work, Fear Agent, that's published by Dark Horse, that's something you should definitely check out. That is Dark Horse, right? Or is it Image?
That's,
Fear Agent.
Dark Horse.
By
Fear Agent, it's awesome.
That's really what got everyone's attention in the industry and got him this gig over at Marvel.
What was the post-apocalyptic one he did? Was it Dead Girl or Dead... it eludes me.
He did, so was it Strange Girl?
Strange Girl.
And Nightmare, I think.
Yes.
He did a couple other creator-owned books which were, fun and different. So seek those out. If you're enjoying his Marvel stuff, you should look at definitely his creator-owned work. Any thoughts on Remender?
Yeah, I mean, X-Force has been revitalized twice in the last couple of years. You had the first X-Force, which was darker and grittier and bloody, and this
Very
one there's
violent.
still a lot of violence in the new Uncanny X-Force, but it's much more fun. I think the dialogue is better, the character interaction is better, and it's a lot of fun to see these characters, most of whom have been around forever, kind of interacting in a cool way. And Venom, I mean, is really a ground-up character. I mean, yes, Flash Thompson and Venom have both been around, but the combination, the way they're integrating the two, and the challenges he's putting before them is unique, and it's always nice to find something new in comics.
Venom really is an amazing comic. I mean, when you think about it, you're taking this the title character who's been around for decades and has kind of been a hero, an anti-hero, a villain, a thorn in Spider-Man's side, and then you pair the alien costume with Flash Thompson, and the kind of updated version of Flash Thompson, who lost both of his legs in Afghanistan and is borderline alcoholic, and it's got so much meat to it, and is just such a great book. People should definitely be checking out both of those. So, thank you for your question, Mr. Mike Bighead, and we hope to hear from you again soon. All right, this week we'll kick things off with Birds of Prey number 5. My entire stack this week is all books that I've talked about before, so I will continue to sing the praises of these books. Birds of Prey is reading like a really great novel. Each issue is a different chapter, and you're progressing further along in the story as you should. The artwork by Jesus Saez is outstanding. Again, I've enjoyed his artwork from the beginning, and first encountered him on Brave and the Bold that J. Michael Straczynski did. It's another great issue. I mean, look, you've got, this would make an awesome TV show. This version of Birds of Prey would make an awesome TV show, I think.
They tried that one time.
Yeah, and that was not so awesome. The WB Birds of Prey. No offense to anyone that loves that show, but something seriously wrong with your taste radar. Birds of Prey is just such a great book, and there's still time to get on board with this and check it out from the beginning. It's like a kind of a female A-team. They're on the run. They each have their own role that they play. You've got crazy people like Poison Ivy and the new version of Katana in there, who talks to her dead husband through her sword, or her sword is her dead husband, or something like that. And the new character of Starling, which I've praised in the past, is just really, really good.
And my pick, Batman number 5 is out this week. Scott Snyder's still awesome. Greg Capullo's art actually really kind of surprised me in this issue. It's been strong for the whole series, but I think stylistically he really upped it to kind of match the type of story that's being told in this issue. Basically, Bruce is, if you haven't been following, Bruce is being taunted by the Court of Owls, apparently some long-lived thing in Gotham. And essentially this book is them torturing him psychologically, or his descent into madness, or whatever, but it's wonderfully done. And honestly, I was kind of back and forth on this. I love it, but I hate talking about the same book every week. I reread it. The first 2 pages of this book alone make it a pick. just, I don't know why, but the first 3 pages just kind of hit me in the gut as a Batman fan, and it's a great read.
Great reads. Daredevil, according to the entire internet, was the #1 book of 2011, or the best book of 2011. And we agree wholeheartedly. This is the second part of a 2-part Spider-Man Daredevil crossover. The first part came out last week. So if you picked up Amazing Spider-Man, I believe it was 677. This is the second part, Daredevil #8. Do not miss it. And the nice thing about this is we get a continuing story, the continuing part of that crossover, but we see how it ties in with the main Daredevil storyline that's been going on for the past few issues. And it's really setting up some stuff, I think, that's going to make Daredevil a major player in the Marvel Universe. Major player in the Marvel Universe. So again, Daredevil is a book that everyone should absolutely be reading.
Red Hood and the Outlaws 5. Still really good. And we're actually getting to the point, Red Hood was one of the DC titles that took a lot of flack early on because of its character portrayals, and they've done a lot in this issue and the past couple to really change the character development. And this is kind of a turning point. We see more of the kind of fill-in backstory on Jason. Roy actually gets to be kind of Roy and not just an idiot stoner sidekick. And Corey gets a little character development, and you see kind of why she is the way she is in the book, and it's just awesome. It's Red Hood and the Outlaws continues to be one of my favorite books every month.
Hey, guess what? Batman #5. It's in my stack too. And Josh said really a lot of what I would have said, as we usually do. We speak each other's thoughts. But to follow up on his comments about Greg Capullo, a lot of this issue takes place in bright light. And I think that's one of the things that we haven't seen from previous issues from Capullo. He's drawing characters, in the dark usually, as Batman is a dark book. And he is a creature of the night. But seeing him do things with a bright setting was very interesting. And of course, Snyder is nailing it. And I don't want to give anything away, but Batman #5 is the most creative comic of the week, as far as I'm concerned. And you will see that when you pick it up. I haven't seen a book like something like this done in a comic book ever, maybe. And again, you'll know what I'm talking about when you pick it up.
Also on the #5 list from DC, Nightwing. So if you would sum up here, Bat books are awesome.
Yes, the Batman family rocks in the New 52.
Week 3, Batman week. Nightwing continues the storyline with him taking over Haley's circus, and it's still a lot of fun to see Dick kind of coming into his own. I especially like in this issue, you see him a little more with the circus. The problem isn't Nightwing bringing trouble to the circus, it's the circus bringing trouble to Dick Grayson and Nightwing. You've got clowns and demons and all in hoodoo, and it's a lot of fun.
And this one is almost a self-contained story.
For the most part, yeah.
There are threads that are being picked up from previous issues, which is nice. But this is almost a done in one. So if you want to try out Nightwing, now's the time. My love for IDW's Star Trek series continues. And this time, one of the things I really liked about it is cover artist Joe Cornet, who's done a lot of cover work for IDW, especially on the Star Trek books. He did not do this cover, by the way. This was Tim Bradstreet. But Joe Cornet does the interiors, so his artwork is hella awesome, and you should check it out. Again, this is adapting the original series episodes with the J.J. Abrams continuity crew, and there are definitely threads picked up from the J.J. Abrams film that are carried over in here. This is Operation Annihilate, which was a great original series episode, and you had these cool, flying amoeba type things that would attach to the Enterprise crew, and kind of a precursor to Alien. They were parasites that would take over their bodies and control them. And really bad special effects in the original series, but you get to see some really cool stuff in this updated comic version.
All right, Wonder Woman #5. One of the things that I don't necessarily like about comics is the tendency to go for story arcs, to write for the trade, to have a 6-issue arc. So by issue 5, I kind of know where everything's going to wrap up on a new title. That's not the case on Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is on issue 5, and they're still world building. The setting they're putting together, the family, the extended God family, is expanding, and the story is getting more complicated and more interesting. And just Brian Azzarello has been knocking it out of the park since issue 1 on Wonder Woman, and it continues to be one of the most different and most exciting comics DC's putting out.
My pick of the week, and probably no one else's pick of the week, Moon Knight #9. This is just such a great series. It saddens me that so few people are reading this book. And I don't know what it's like nationally. I can only judge by what we're doing here in the store. But usually our numbers are indicative of the greater United States. It's really Bendis and Malieve having fun and breathing life into kind of a stale character that never had direction and was kind of a poor man's Batman. Um, and the fact that his multiple personalities are now Wolverine, Captain America, and Spider-Man. You've got Echo, a former Avenger or a current Avenger who was introduced in the Daredevil series. It's fun. It's fun. It's exciting. It's different, and it's different from anything else that Bendis is writing right now. He's writing 20,000 Avengers books and half of the Marvel universe, but this has a different feel, and the feeling is excitement and fun. I love it.
My pick of the week is Spider-Man 678. This is the first part of a two-part story where Peter Parker is the guy from that TV show Early Edition. Essentially, one of Peter's Horizon comrades develops a doorway till tomorrow and brings back a newspaper, and then suddenly everything goes wrong and we know tomorrow the world's going to end, or at least New York City is going to be destroyed. So Peter spends the whole day trying to prevent that from happening. And it's a lot of fun. It's a kind of a classic Spider-Man story, and it's good.
And if you like alternate reality / time travel stories,
Top notch.
this is it. Another really solid week. We continue to say that the third week is the most solid week of the month as far as it comes to comics. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still great stuff the other weeks of the month, but there's just so much great stuff that comes out during the third week each month. And thank you to DC Comics for staying consistent, for the most part, with your weekly releases. And, I mean, you've got to look at some of these titles. I mean, Batman is jumping to mind. I was thinking about it after I read it last night. They have been, we're 5 issues in. We've had the same writer, the same artist, the same week of the month that it's coming out. The consistency that we're seeing out of DC Comics is unheard of today. And that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that the comic book industry has kind of become lax when it comes to letting creators do whatever they want to do and not hit a deadline. So congratulations to Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo and the rest of the people on the DC New 52 for hitting their deadlines and for giving us a solid schedule when it comes to new releases. So come on down, check the stuff out. We will see you next week, hopefully, and keep leaving comments and questions in the YouTube feed below, and we'll make sure we get to those.